We're getting 1-minute trap moves, you guys see? Just depends on being pre-market. We do have the push with the kind of parallel pull here, so now the question is, are they setting up the bull flag or the bull flag trap? I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before where I did this. Remember it did like a lot of pushing and then it created this bull flag and then all of a sudden that bull flag just like collapsed. Alright, let me start the socials. Well, got the YouTube going, got it going. Let's go.
So would that still be considered a bull flag, even though it looks like I guess the flag's about ready to drop and hit the ground because the pole is so not as near as big, or would that still be considered that?
Uh, no, this is breaking down, right? So you have a push parallel right here. It has to go back up. Usually a bull flag, ideally, you want that push to flag into the 50% retracement and then jump. Anything short of that, usually that's more of a breakdown, not
Gotcha.
not a flag anymore. Yeah, so they're doing the old market maker. Yeah. See, Cody, all you needed was Steven to ask me. There it is, guys. Went ahead and phoned all my market maker buddies there. They're driving it down for you.
Yeah, because it seems like when you say that, it does it. Like,
It's weird how that works, huh?
you got that secret button on your desk, the bat signal.
Oh, I closed it, but I'm gonna work my way back.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting into open,
Yeah.
right? So it's not a bad idea. Let open come in and settle.
I mean, where did I close it? I think I had a stop loss about 70. So, oh, that's where I closed it. So, would it push up to 90? I should have calculated in the Asia high, but I didn't. But I didn't blow my account, so that's still there.
Yeah, that it was tricky, right? The move, but that key thing was that bull flag that we were kind of watching earlier, and then we kept getting that kind of those halfway plays, right, where it just kept pushing. But now we're in this move where we have this deep push, right? For us to get a halfway retracement somewhere here makes sense. So we'll see. Plus, it sets up pre-market, right? Which is good. Kind of like having the old underlay of the music there. I don't know. Might put that on again.
The 5-minute POC was right here at 43.
Oh,
So,
wonder. Is that loud?
means a little bit, maybe.
Hard to tell.
I felt like I was listening to it in my headphones, like it was mine.
That's like the lowest I could do on my computer. So I have it on the computer for the TikTok, but I always like to have some kind of noise or music going on, so I can put it on my little speaker down here. How we
Do you
looking?
have to
What's up,
worry
man?
about
Yeah, it like wasn't
copyright
going through.
violations at all?
Have I got what, Chuck?
Do you have to worry about copyright violations at all? I've always heard that if you play something like YouTube and what have you, you get kicked off for
I
that.
don't. I mean, maybe I don't know, but I'll tell you the reason why I even had thought of doing it is because the every live that I join, man, they're like rocking out, and so I'm like, eh. But yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll add like a little text in the bottom, small disclaimer. I do not have the rights to something. I don't know. Morning, man. So you can Andre, if you wanted to come in, you can go to that link if you guys wanted to come in directly. So
Oh, this is gonna push all the way back down and make my
of
trade.
course.
It would have been good, wouldn't it?
Well, that's why I don't know what your margin was or what you were deep, right? The 380 was big, right? Because if you look at that level, and I don't know that we're going to come all the way back, right? Because we're rejecting right off the prior high area. So, and you can see if you box that in, right? Even if you take kind of this area and you pull it across, right? We would need to break out of that to get that deep pull. But this is basically a breakout pullback. It's going to try to retest this top potentially, but anything that holds above that top, it's a great way to set us up for potential open, because as we are pushing through here, if our open sweeps us, but it can't break this low, right, of that 29,999 or whatever, then it's going to have an inverse and we'll jump. And so let's see. Let's ask him. Hey, Neo, as we prepare for market open here in almost 15 minutes, what should we be looking for on the movement? What kind of highs and lows are you looking at?
The market is chopping around and fighting that 30,035.50 trend line, so watch if we hold or flush it near the open. I'm looking for a clean break of the ORB extremes at 30,195.00 or 29,963.75 to show me which side is actually in control.
Good deal. Guys, I opened up a little bit early, so I usually don't open until 9:15, but we kind of were finished with the pre-market there. It's an interesting push, but as Neo would say, don't get too excited. We got to break a few key levels before we consider anything bullish, right? So usually, as far as the pre-market goes, more bearish things were invalidated. The bullish things were playing out on the micro. So we just want to keep an eye on open, right? So open is going to make a big difference, because if in open, the old if and in, right? If we swing high first and we can't break the prior ORB area up here or that 248, right, then we're going to have an inverse back down. If we end up getting a pull and that creates a higher low within this trend line at any point and we push, then it's probably a good likelihood that it's going to keep going up. So we'll have to see how market open plays out within, man. We'll have to see how market plays out. Hey Neo, as we prepare for market open, what do you think right now the bias is looking like? Should we be looking more short or long? Because I don't typically like to take both. I like to look for one bias and be patient. So he says.
The bias is currently conflicted with a bullish 1 minute and 5 minutes trend, but an overall 1 hour bearish structure. Keep your powder dry until the market shows its hand by breaking and holding either the 30,195.00 ORB high or the 29,963.75 ORB low.
Yeah, I'm kind of with him on the conflicted, right? Because again, if you think about it, if we go to the high time frame, right, this level right here is just so important, I think, based on this how the structure plays. And the fact that we just manhandled through it doesn't scream bearish, right? So ideally, you would want to treat that range as a range, 29,995 up to 30,248, right? And if you stay above that 995, you don't really want to be short. But if you break back below that, right, then it's going to be a nasty short. So we'll see what market open decides it wants to do. But again, the way this structure was for us to just burst through that, like that's crazy. But it could be a shakeout, right? Because market open's coming up. So we'll have to see how market open treats it. But that's kind of my plan. Anything above 29,995, I'm not really looking to short unless we get up to that 30,248 or so. Then I'll be interested. Morning, Patrick. Hey, did you get a time to check out NEO? Just curious what you thought. But cruised around, nice. Yeah, take a look, man. He's fun. Why the 248? What did I do? Why did I put that? Hold on. Oh, we were basing right here, right? So from the all-time high that we pushed right here, this was a critical prior high, and you can tell because when we pushed up, it found support, pushed up again, swept that exact support, and then that's what propelled us there, right? Oh, appreciate it, Patrick. And so when you see that prior high as the reason in a liquidity sweep that pushes us to that high with an explosion like it did, becomes a pretty key level, man. Because a lot of times what the market likes to do is it likes to try to come back up and test that liquidity, but if it can't break that low, right, or that resistance, it's going to have an inverse drop, pretty harsh. So, but if it reclaims that, right, that was the level that the buyers tried to hold to push that high in the first place. So, but and this is where Neo, when I had asked him about it, he said he's conflicted because, which I don't blame him. The overall structure on the larger time frame looks like we should be beginning some kind of descent or ranging, but which we could be ranging, right? The way it's starting, but we'll have to see how open comes in. Currently, right now, if you think about it, the pre-market kind of kill zone after, in the EU part pulled us back, and then once we started to get into pre-market, right, we pushed us up. So as you know, most of the time when pre-market goes up, market open likes to go the other way, but we'll see. Market opens have been a little sporadic. So a lot of times, what I do, guys, those that are new to trading with me, is when a market open drops, the first couple of moves, especially on the lower time frames, are critical to watch because that's going to tell you a lot, right? If the market open sweeps, let's throw some hypotheticals, right? If the market opens right now, right, and it wants to drop first, if it drops, but it can't break through, things like prior highs, prior lows, things like that, or it can't even break the halfway, like where that first move lands and jumps tells you everything, right? And then similar to the other way, if we push up, right, let's say we sweep this, but then we instantly lose it and we lose that bottom, that it's going to be a pretty nasty pull. So let's take a look at it and see. We got 10 minutes. The only thing that's interesting to me, you can see if you were to just take even some tops here, right? This tried to create a pretty good trend. And so we broke that. So the expectation would be to possibly come back to here or even here and then try to create the higher low. So if we do, I would prefer, my best case scenario would be to get our first push south and then hit this area, hold it, bounce, and then ride that sucker north, right? And then if we break a simple structure like this, right, then you're going to ride it back south to chase that low. So if you look, we're looking at the higher time frames, right? The 1 hour is coming out of a kind of hammer or absorption, right? And then you got the close that's trying to close above that. If you go to the 4 hour, we're indecision. So it's gonna be a tricky open, guys. We'll see. I think that the pre-market's trying to be a little bullish, a little too bullish, showing its hand. We'll see. Let's see. Right now, I'm up. I'm only trading 2 accounts right now. I'm at 1,000 on one and 825 on the other. So from pre-market, so I'm not in a big rush to jump in. But we look like right now, see how this right here, this tells you a lot because we had a push, broke down, couldn't break these prior highs. So a close right there, right, is going to sweep it there. But SPY, I'm not I should have put that in the comments, guys. I'm not checking other symbols on my chart, but if NEO can do it, then I will do it. But NEO's right now, I'm not currently watching options. So I did, I looked at SPY last night though. And to me, it looked like it was in a pretty critical spot where I think it was pretty close to a level that if it broke, it would be pretty bearish. But I think where it was, it's more potentially bullish, right? So if I was trading SPY, I would look for more puts, but I would have to wait for it to pull back. And I don't remember the number it was at. But yeah, guys, if you want to check us out, nextstepalgo.com. I trade live every morning. Those on TikTok, I'm live every single morning, 9:15 a.m. And then we go till about 10:30 or 11, depending in the community. We're live in the community as well. And then usually I stop that. Everybody kind of uses NEO from there. And but I might do some more afternoon trading, through TikTok's platform. So for those that want to join. Yeah, guys, we got market open coming up. Let's see. 5 minute, we got a nice push. We dojied with a good clean close below, which typically suggests more southern, but again, open can change that, right? Let's ask Neo. Hey, Neo, we got market open coming in 6 minutes. I see a 5 minute doji with a red Heikin-Ashi close below on that. If you see that, that's typically a pretty good bearish sign, but that might shift in market open, huh?
You're dead right. That candle is just noise before the real volume hits at the bell. Don't trust any signal right now because the market is just gearing up to bait liquidity one way or the other.
All right, Neo, here's the plan for the rest of the session while I'm logged in here. I am live with the community and they're trading with me, and I'm live on TikTok. And so I got my followers in there. So occasionally, if TikTok has a question, I'm going to copy and paste their answer in here and have their name attached so you can address them by name. Let's make these guys some money. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan. I'm ready to help you and your community make sense of the price action. Just paste the questions in whenever they come up, and we'll keep the focus on disciplined, high-probability setups.
Some of you guys in the mentor group or in the community, something I was thinking too would be helpful. I appreciate it. A lot of you do anyways, but even if you're in the Google Meet, if you don't mind going on the TikTok live and just, even if you just set your phone down just to help get that, because that was always the counterintuitive that we ran into in our prior adventure, is we would be, constantly saying, come in, come in, come in, come in. Neo. So Neo is our AI. He reads the markets for us. Let's paste that in there for you.
Morning, Patrick. The market's trapped between a bearish 60-minute structure and a bullish shorter-term trend, so I'm staying neutral until we break those ORB extremes. Don't marry a bias right now. Let the market clear the 30,195.00 level for a long or the 29,963.75 level for a short before you commit.
Cool, isn't it? Heck yeah. Thanks. Yeah, but early, if you remember, we were always like, "Oh, come in and trade, come in and trade," and everybody gets off the platform, right? And then we get kind of screwed because we have nobody on the platform, and then it doesn't kick in the algorithm. But yeah, guys, if you want to ask them a question in there, I'll copy and paste it. Now, guys, once market bell rings, right, we're gonna start looking at trades. For those new to following in here with me, when I do it, I'm not calling out specific entries, right? Go here, go there. We do a lot of scalping in the room. I have a lot of variation within traders that are in here. Some like continuation, some like top bottom, some micro scalps. I'm just, kind of scalp 10 to 20 point moves. Some like longer moves, right? And so what I do is I like to kind of call the anticipation of the market, right? If this does this, it should do this, right? If this does that, it should do that, right? And it's going to give you kind of the read, also teach you. Then you got to make that decision to push the button, right? Depending what type of trader you are. If you're not sure what to do or where to go or an entry, just paste the question in there and I'll copy and paste it in there with Neo and let him know. So would you suggest another market? Let's ask. I'm going to tell him. I'm putting your name now.
Steve, sitting out the first 15 minutes is the smartest play. The volatility is just noise designed to trap retail. Wait for the market to establish a clear direction and confirm a breakout or rejection of those ORB levels before you even think about putting capital at risk.
Yeah, told you. He is on Uncensored, guys. So if you don't know, Uncensored is awesome. It's probably one of my top ones that I like to trade on at times because if you ask good questions, he's going to give you good answers. But you piss him off, man, he might drop a F-bomb on you every now and then. So he gets mad. You make him mad. Oh man, Cody, how funny is it gonna be if we get him going and we're trading and doing good, and then one of those bots spam a comment in my TikTok on Uncensored?
That stuff is so funny, man.
Ooh, buddy, he's gonna tear him up on Uncensored. I'm doing that from now on, man. This is a way to capitalize on their comments. It's funny. So, guys, we got 1 minute till bell. Let's see where we lay here, guys. Again, when you look at the overall play here, we have a deep push. We're not halfway reclaim until here. So I would prefer opening bell to sweep high and then go low because then it's going to tell me it's a more southern day, right? We can wait for the pushes and the drops and all that. But I'm not opposed to it sweeping this low, right? If it sweeps this low and it holds, it's going to likely try to push back, right? But let's take a look and see, guys. We got less than a minute. I'll put that in there, Steven, so he keeps you logged. Guys, once the bell opens here in seconds, I'm
Good
gonna
call,
try to keep
Steven.
up with the comments.
Watching the reaction to those levels at the bell is how you survive this business instead of lighting money on fire.
All right, ding, ding, ding. So initial move is north, right into here. What I want to watch on this initial move is where do we get up here on this high, right? Do we breach through this with ease? Do we hit this and reject? Do we sweep it and pull back? We don't want to jump into something, right? We want to watch and see what this does. So far we're a sweep, right? So this 992 is going to be big from a micro level. If we sweep that and we lose it and come back further than this halfway push, then it's going to sweep that low. So let's watch. All right, market open came through, Neo. So what does it mean when we get a big burst north right on the opening bell? What should we look for?
A burst north right at the bell is often a liquidity grab to trap breakout traders before the real move starts. Watch if price fails to sustain the momentum and starts reclaiming back inside the initial range, which would signal a classic reversal trap.
Yeah, we're in this Lisman, guys. This area here is going to be big for me, 992. If we end up crashing back here, right, then I want to see where that pull. This is what you want to look at mostly, guys, is when this marketing open sweeps up, where it begins to get bounces within that pull. So far we have a push up without even a halfway retracement, and we're still getting pushed north, right? So strength's still there. So I want to look for any kind of absorption. See how the sellers are starting to come in? Now, when the sellers come in here and we get the close there, we should sweep down into this area. Anything higher than that, if it holds around here, that's showing strength in the bulls. If we lose anywhere around that 64, it's going to create a lower low from within. So let's just keep an eye. So nice little push. So see that halfway retracement? So push halfway. A lot of these first moves, guys, tells you everything you need to know within the market. Because these first moves are going to dictate where the winner is of this pressure battle. So right here's in a critical area, guys. See how it just had a little dom jump? If we can breach this area here, it's going to create that lower low. But if it gets a dom jump with a close above here, it's going to come back up pretty hard. So let's watch and see. I'm going to try to watch this lower one here too, because remember, this is the one I was kind of watching on that 15-second, just to see if I can watch for any traps. Probably mute, let me mute some of this other stuff though. Because I have it on the other one, I don't need it. I'll just do the trap. There we go. That way we can see it. We'll see you get in the pull. See how we're losing that top right there, right? So we do have other highs within here, but typically when you get this push with the halfway loss, you're going to get a lower low sweep. So let's look at the 1 minute, see if we get confirmation. So we have a push into Lisma. We lost Lisma, got the doji. Close below this doji is going to sweep down to this VWAP according to the 1 minute. And there's the lower low. Like clockwork. I love when the market does what it's supposed to do. See, this 5 minute now is actually setting up a pretty bearish candle if it can close like this. So in the next 1 minute, if we get a close down in this area, guys, that next round candle close is going to be a very bearish sweep. So see that, but you guys see how that played out? Anybody take that short scalp? I took a couple on that. So I'm at 11.27 on that one now.
I got a couple on them with like 350.
Nice.
Yeah, I got some of that.
Don't keep chasing it yet, because we have the 5 minute Lisma coming in here hot, and we have a really big grouping of support within there, right? So still waiting for some more questions, Neo, but we did pretty good capturing that pull from the fake out north. Kind of based on your advice, man. You said that first push is usually a liquidity grab just to go the other way, and that played out awesome. So everybody made good amount of money on that.
That's what I like to hear. Glad you and the community nailed that reversal. Remember, that's just the opening volatility. Keep that same discipline and don't get reckless now that the session is officially underway.
Sounds good. Can you tell me what the buy and sell fractal pressure is? I want to see kind of who's winning, the bulls or the bears.
The sell pressure is currently dominating with the buy fraction sitting at just 22%. The bears are clearly in the driver's seat right now, so look for continuation lower unless we see a sharp reversal and reclaim of that 30,067.25 level.
Nice. If you're able to, Andre, as well, I could bring you into the TikTok if you want, and then you can talk. Since you were already there, we can do that. Let's see. If you're able to talk, I'll just send the invite, and then you can come if you like. But yeah, see how we're getting the lower low push there? What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Did you see how that short breakdown played on that lower?
I did, yeah. I was watching all of it.
Clockwork, man. I tell you, the like we were talking about yesterday, and a lot of people in the community already know with me is I'm a firm believer, man, that people always say try not to anticipate the market. I disagree, because if the market has certain structural behaviors that it should do, you need to anticipate that, because then when it's not doing that, it tells you a lot. It tells you that it's not a good day, right, to push trades. So it's cool to see that actually play. So very cool. So a lot of guys, those in TikTok as well coming in. A lot of what we do in the room is more so scalping when it comes to the market open, because market open is crazy, man. You can move 200-300 points like nothing. So not looking for long plays. We're usually aiming for, anywhere between 10 and 20 point scalps, some less, right? So some in here, like Milena talking about, she was crushing it lately on just taking even tighter scalps, like, just a couple dollar moves, just in, out, in, out, in, out. And hey, if that works. So what I'm looking at here, guys, what is critical about this? So we have a kind of a bear structure setup that kind of came up, almost looked like it was bear flagging. Market bell, swept the high, which ends up a stop hunt. We lost it, got the doji, closed below, that swept us. Now we're at the 200. Now what becomes critical is this low here, right? The 30,037. Those on TikTok, I know my screen is going to be smaller because I have to use all my chart, but I'll try to call levels when I can when I'm pointing. So that 30,038 or so is going to be really critical if we get any kind of push north. For me, a lot of times when you see this kind of structure here, these prior highs around that 20,995 become critical. Because when we were talking about this in the pre-market, we were more biased short, because when you push up here, you're more likely to get that pull into that high to test that liquidity. Now, this is critical because if this breaks through, right, it's coming back to there, which is what I was kind of anticipating would happen on the pre-market, if you guys heard me say that early. But it's got to break this 200, right? And it's got to break that prior high, or we're going to come back up again. So don't continue to chase that short yet. We have to wait until we have a nice little cluster of moving averages here. That's going to put a little block in there. That theory I was testing yesterday, Andre, with the trap thing. Look at it. It actually called that trap the play, and then boom, pulled it back. It's pretty cool for a little micro. It's more micro scalp on the 15-second, but it's pretty fire, man. Scott, I don't know, is Scott in here? I got to give credit to Scott on that, man.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, it's so I'll tell you, Scott, a little feedback. I tried it on the 5-second, and man, it's just I think it's a little fast, but it's good. There's some good stuff on it. But what I was testing, let me show you real quick. I was on TikTok last night. We were testing the hell out of this thing. And if you overlay the harmonic hunter to get the gap fill, the precision entry engine for the signal, and then you do a couple of the flow trading things, and you put it on, now you have kind of like your liquidity areas, right? And then you have your averages and your sessions to validate, right? And so it worked pretty good. Like if this thing throws a trap within, right, and then you get that pull, now that you have this sell, I'm looking to see, is there any more traps that populate? If I get another one that populates with a break, right, then I'm taking it down to there. If I get one that is on the lower side with the push, you got to be careful with it, because your last one was that sell, right? But it worked pretty good. But when I go to the 5-second, it's too fast almost to record some of the indicators that I wanted. And so, but the 15-second so far has been pretty freaking phenomenal, man. That was a good call.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we're breaking the previous high.
Yeah, we're below it right now. So what I would look for here, so although we're breaking that high, right, we have an ORB at 64. We have the VWAP here at 67, right, a cluster of this. So a lot of times what I'll tell people, the safer play, now that we're getting this, is get that breach wick here, which usually gets a pull back halfway. If that halfway sustains and it comes down with the close, you're pretty OA right here. This would be your better move. But yeah, see how it's getting that bleed. We're also look at the 5-minute. So this is on my 5-minute for the indicator we use on the trap, and you can see the push there right into that block, which was set back here, is where we're rejecting out of. So yeah, we're bleeding. So it's setting up another pretty good pull here. If we can get that breach wick right, close below, then bam, ride that sucker down. So I'm gonna wait for that one. I took some scalps on the way down, but I'm kind of waiting to see if we're going to get this break off the VWAP, or we're going to jump. The only hesitation I have, usually I won't wait for just that, but I don't like that we have that prior ORB low there either. So, but let's take a look. So we are breaking through some of the fib levels we have as well. So it's still very bearish. We're getting a little pressure. It's trying to determine is it going to hold these highs is what it's doing. But hey, Neo, what do you see the buy and sell fraction pressure at right now? Looks like the bears are winning.
The bears are absolutely crushing it right now, with the buy fraction down to a measly 18.4%. Price has dumped below the 1-minute EMA 200, confirming the seller control. Stay patient for a setup, but don't try to catch a falling knife in this environment.
So this matters here, right? We have some pretty decent, because this is the 5-minute 200 EMA and the 15-minute. So this is when you hear Neo say things like wait for a break and hold or retest, he wants to see the pull, the tap, the tap, the tap, right? Creating the range, and then the close below those wicks, right? And that's going to give you your southern play there. Comes the pull. Watch the dump. Little jump. So this is going to be a big one right here because see how we have the doji with the 200. If we get that close above, it's going to try to sweep up for the gap fill here. But we're testing, I believe that's 5-minute Lisma. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Let's see, where's the Lisma? So if you look left here, why that's jumping is the ORB. See, that's what I was worried about is this ORB and this prior high here. So that's why it's jumping a little. So that's what I wanted to see. See how this did this? Man, I'm telling you, it's every single time. We had a pull. Here's our halfway, right? 50% retracement right off the 5-minute Lisma. Here's our prior lows. For it to come up and liquidity sweep that and then sweep back down is normal. So let's see how we test these lows. A close below these lows, guys, is going to be violent, violent, violent. What ticker is you watching? So this one is the we just trade one on the market open, but it's the we're trading the Nasdaq MNQ or NQ. I'll ask Neo that trade question there, Steven.
Which low are you looking to break?
This one right here is what's critical. If we break this one here, it's going to sweep down hard because there's really nothing stopping it right until there. So until down to about 26 or so, least the very least. So see that sweep. I took when we had the break here, I micro scalp again. I took a couple scalps within. Up here, I took a pretty good amount of scalps within on that one. And so one thing I recommend as people trade is the more you earn, the more picky you should become, right, on your trades. And so as this pushed here and pushed down there and closed there, I took another little short scalp, right? And so right now I'm aiming for mostly $10 moves, nothing crazy. And so that already hit my TP. And so now I'm just waiting. I don't want to jump in again. If you look at, let's see why we're holding some support here. I don't see. So if you look at this, the concern I have for now, we'll see if it holds, right, is on the 15-second, you can see we're channeling, right? Pretty clear channel. And so it should never, if the bears are truly in control, which when you get this close here, there's really not a lot stopping it to here. There's not a ton of reason why we should be bouncing right where we are. And so if we end up, pulling down like that, I'm hesitant because I want to see a push up and then I wanted to see another pull to take that other continuation. And notice when we got this push up, it's dojiing. We reclaimed those lows just almost too easy, right? But notice we're still kind of pretty close within that halfway. So we're not going to the moon, right? I wouldn't suggest a long, but a lot of my scalps see that here. I didn't take it because I was talking, but a lot of times I see a push, and then when I see this type of candle begin to break down, right, I'll capture that momentum back down. Because a normal move when you're scalping or micro scalping is to have those drop halfways, right? Now, how I can tell that's going to reverse is if it ends up uh, showing me that the bears are getting weaker. So example, here's the low, we have this low. If this low is less, right, and it comes back up and reclaims the halfway and that top, we're gonna jump hard. Anything short of that, we're south, you know. And then the micro structure that we have, we can take the tops here, right, and pull that down like that. So we can ask Neo. Oh, I forgot to ask Neo about your thing. Hold on, Steven. There you go.
Hey Nick, with take
Spot
profit,
on,
Oh, hold
Steven.
on one
The
second.
first
Sorry.
15 minutes are just
I was
pure,
standing right for you.
unadulterated gambling, and you're better off watching the big money trap each other while you keep your capital safe. Once that dust settles and we get a clear break or retest of the opening range, that's when you can actually look for a high probability trade instead of guessing.
Yeah, that's funny. What were you saying, Scott?
with take profit, are they touchy on that, $2 to $3 quick scalp?
No. I did it forever. My funded to Lucid and Take Profit have never given me any flack about it. But I know Tradeify will. I think Top Step will. Apex doesn't like it, but they don't flag it anymore either.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm up about 300 and so on.
Isn't it cool? I mean, I'm telling you, it takes the stress out, man. You're riding momentum on the micro moves and in and out, in and out. Right now I'm up 13, 18 on one and 1,055 on the other.
Yeah, what I've done is I've taken a separate window with TradeVision in it.
Yeah.
And if you go up to the top 3 buttons, you can minimize your screen. So I reduced the screen down to about 75%, which
Okay.
gives you so many levels. It shrinks your dollar and you can really watch the DOM,
Yeah.
in a much wider area.
Nice. I'll take a look at that. Guys, we're starting to stall out a little. See what I was saying? This is we want to be careful, right? I haven't taken any more shorts. If I want to take a short again, I want to see this push up here again, and I want to see the bears kick back in again with that close, and then I'll ride it to the secondary push down to there. For me, I just don't see a lot of reason it's not going to get to somewhere between here, right? 910, 920. We have a pretty good cluster of resistance now, 966 and all that. So it's not a time to go long, right? Do not chase these longs, guys. The best bet would be to allow it to come up and then catch the retracement south. If you want to take a long, you need to see a full structure shift. So off of some good support. So let's say, for example, if this were to pull down to the 15-minute Lisma at 904, and then it were to range, and then I get a break of my structure here back, reclaiming that prior high, right? Then I would scalp that back to that area because I love this indicator that we have, guys. Flow trading is probably one of my favorites, even though it's probably one of the more simple ones. Because when I stretch it, it basically is overlaying all of the moving averages that I like to use, right? Lisma, and the EMAs, right? And it's going to do all time frames, right? 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour. So I can look at all time frames on one chart. I don't have to flip through charts. And so what it tells me is you can see the areas that we have gaps, right? With path of least resistance. And so when you look at the sessions, right, we have Asia high, Asia low, EU low, London low, right? All the highs. It's chasing one of these liquidities. And so when we look at the averages, how they're angling, where they're at, how the price reacts into them, tells you everything, right? It tells you everything on the move. So, but we're still bleeding, guys. All right, there's a little push. How that push this matters, guys. If this pushes through this and we can hold in that halfway retracement, we're going to reverse back up again for a bit. But if now that we have a deep absorption, so what I teach people on these, when you're watching on the 15-second, you're going to measure that high and that low like that, right? And now we're internal. And you close above it, we're going up. Close below it, we're going down. So we'll just watch it so I don't have extra lines.
I don't think I have my resistance line set up in the same spot as yours. Can you zoom out on that a little bit, Nick, on 15 second?
Wait, what line?
I thought you had a line set up there.
Oh, I had a trend line.
Yeah.
I didn't take the top. What I did, because this one looked like it was channeling pretty well, I just channeled it like that.
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay.
Yeah, but now I'm more interested. How's it going to react to this cluster, right? So I'm not in anything. I haven't taken anything yet. I want to see how this reacts to this cluster. I gotta see. So because now that we have this sweep here, if we get a close above here with any kind of strength through all of this, that's shows the buyers are coming in, guys. But any kind of rejection here, right? Doji, hammer, whatever, close below, bam, back down we go. How's everybody doing? Pinos, doing good? Remember, guys, the more you make on that, the slower you should be, right? So you don't get caught in the market open shift. So I'm watching this right now. See what I was talking about here? We got that close above, so that's where that burst of volume comes in. That's why I'm not taking a long into my 995 potential resistance, and so I'm not taking that long, but I will just let it go up. Let me ask Neo. Hey Neo, do you think it's a good advice I tell everybody that they should not take every move? If I want to be short, and I see the market pushing up, I should just let it go up and wait for the short setup?
That is the best advice you can give them. Chasing price is how you get your account slaughtered. Discipline is waiting for the setup that aligns with your thesis, not forcing a trade just because the market is moving.
No, there's no sample buttons, Vinny. So when we did the free trial, it is important for us. The reason why we did a free trial, guys, we don't ask for you to put a credit card or nothing because we're not trying to bait you into buying something, right? I just want people to try him, man, because I think he's going to change the game for everybody. You just got to give him a try. And so when we did our free trial, you're going to see the button next to Pro. You get everything. It's max. It's like as if you bought the Pro. So you get it all. You get exactly what I'm using, all of it. Nothing is minimized. So because it would not be very smart for me to give you a free trial of something without actually letting you take it for a spin, right? You know, that'd be like you going to a car dealership saying, "Hey, let me take it for a test drive," and then they tell you, "Yeah, that sounds good. Get behind it, and I'll get behind it and push you while you steer." You know, a little anticlimactic. You gotta retest at the 30K. Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna wait a second on this structure because if you look at it, we had our push, we lost our 30,030. We ended up breaking down like we thought, right? The lower low. We created a lower low, depending on how you look at it, right? But we're coming into this support here. So as Neo would probably tell you if you asked, right, this is just a dead cat bounce off of a prior low, unless it can reclaim that halfway point, which it hasn't. So hey, somebody on TikTok was asking, should we trust this bounce or do you think this bounce is a fake out?
Tell them to stay skeptical because buy price is high, but the broader 60-minute structure remains bearish. If price fails to reclaim and hold above the Lisma at 30,030.00, treat this as a classic liquidity grab bounce that will likely get sold back off.
Yeah, guys, if you guys want your own Neo to talk to, again, we're doing a free trial with them, so you guys go ahead and do it right now, and then you can let me know if you have any questions about it when you get in. The website link's in my bio for anybody that wants to take a look. Come on, what do you want to do here, buddy? I know I'm at 1,300 on this one. I wanted to get another trade in, but I don't like any of this yet. I don't like it because a few reasons, right? So we have a gap fill up here, which, arguably can take some time to fill because of the structural break that we had. We're below these lows, but a lot of times when you have these pushes, it likes to sweep up to test those lows before it decides if it wants to drop, right? Yeah, and so why I'm skeptical right now, I don't want to take anything, is because short is because if you zoom out, right? So my old saying is when in doubt, zoom out. We're still in an uptrend, right? And so if we break this trend, then it's going to be just nasty. We'll floor all the way back to the low, right, to retest this liquidity. The most important part here in this structure, why I'm hesitant or watching, and I won't take a long, is because if you think about it, this is a bearish structure with a sweep of the high stop hunt that dropped us below these prior highs. And now we're below those prior highs. We came up and we retested almost perfectly. Look at that, almost perfectly on those the peak of that high. And so to me, that's showing more bearish tendencies than bullish. But what I don't like is now I'm in an area where I'm bearish structure wise. It's failing to hold bearish characteristics or bullish, but we're also in an uptrend, right? So you don't want to short into a trend line that's an uptrend. So for me to go short again, I either needed to break here, right, which would be somewhere below that 900 area, or I needed to push up a little bit more, right, somewhere in here, and then get a breakdown. But because I don't think right now it's super clear if it wants to keep this trend line and go up, or do we want to come back down, right? But what I do know from a characteristic is a lot of times when it holds that level, it likes to come up and test this low, right, or at least this low, right, which is where it's kind of tapping. But if it taps here too many times and then it fails, right, it's going to come down pretty hard. But right now, it's a little mixed, right, because even on the micro, remember I was telling you guys, if the macro is very bearish, right, which all this is, it should be doing bearish things, right? So this is a critical play here because we have a push, right? So you can see we had a falling channel that broke out, which played. Now we have a retest of that line, which is trying to push into a double bottom. So if we hold above here and it jumps up with a breach here and we get a close above there, then it's going to be a pretty solid move north, right? But anything short of that, it's going to come down. So, and you guys know in the mentor program that structure where push, pull, tries again, can't create the high, it's going to come down, create that lower low, try one more time. If it can't get past that halfway, it's going to be a nasty low. But I think we're in the middle of an area that could go either way, guys, right now. So we got to be careful. Hey, can you give me a quick market update? I'm still kind of bearish, but man, the bulls seem to keep holding it up here. So do you think that the bulls are going to get tired?
The bears are still in the game with the 1-hour bearish structure, but this chop around the 29,980 level shows the bulls are fighting to keep it afloat. If price fails to reclaim the 1-minute Lisma at 30,016.25 and starts putting in lower lows, that's when the bulls will likely tap out and the sellers will push it back down.
Good job on that, Mike. Chuck 600, Michael 374. Good job. Way to recover, man. Apologies.
Thanks, man.
That's good. I think we put maybe we didn't. Thought we had it. Let's see. Guess I don't. Interesting. I'll have to look at that. All right, guys, let's see how this tests here. So this is big. See how we're just in this like cluster of not sure where it wants to go kind of mess. Holy cow, look at that.
Here's the breakout.
Right? So we're coming up to test out these lows. That's what I was looking at. So now we want to watch that 29 and see how that reacts. But that was a good little burst. See if we get any kind of retrace from it. Because you guys know a lot of times when we push this Lisma like that with that breach, it likes to do a little rear back. So let's see that rear back. If it holds above 98, it's going to jump again hard. But if we end up breaking below that 98, it's going to pull.
So it's just testing the 1-minute Lisma right now. We would wait to see if it breaks above or below to know which way to go.
Yeah. So you got the breach wick, right? Usually that breach wick gives you a little rear back, but we don't know how deep that rear back is going to come. That's going to tell us everything. Because if this rear back goes more than halfway, right, then it ends up pretty violent. Okay, so now we're testing the halfway. That's more than halfway. So right here, actually, we're probably right at halfway, a little bit more. So now that this pulled here, a close below there is going to create a lower low. It's going to dump it. But remember, isn't it crazy, guys? Those of you guys in the mentor group, man, we've studied that for so long. Like how when it breaches that Lisma, it almost always does that rear back. It's crazy. So crazy how often it does that.
Yeah, I made another $30.
Yeah. So now be careful, right? Because we're coming into the microstructure right here. So if you break that, right, a break of this, you can take another. The safer play would be to get the OA right here, right? If you want to do a quick scalp. I would be really careful tracing the long though. The bearish pressure is coming in pretty good. Do you see the bearish pressure taking over at all? Because it looks like the bulls really tried to do a little bit of a push here. Looks like it might be a trap though. Let's see. Nice. Good job, Patrick. Yeah, now the next move, guys, is going to be to wait to see if we get a breach here, close below, and then we'll grab a little scalp on the way back.
You nailed the read. That push looks like a classic bull trap designed to drag buyers in before getting slammed. The 1-minute Lisma at 30,009.00 is a hard ceiling, and until price clears that with conviction, the bears have the upper hand to push this lower.
Comes that push. So if we break this VWAP here, right, with this type of structure, it's going to create that lower low pull. Mm-mm. 1481 now on this one. You know what I just did there, Scott? So I was at 1481, and so I'm like, I'm gonna lower my tick since I put it at like a 6-tick thing, and I literally hit short, and it instantly closed, and I'm at 1507. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, mine, I've been using $3 moves.
Yeah.
And, you know,
That's
I've
good.
caught so far, you know, I'm just getting the jumps. And I think my longest trade's like 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, and again, you know, for sure on the evals, nobody cares, right? I mean, it's the easiest, safest way to pass these evals. You just get in, capture the momentum moves, right?
I like that short little scalp because it takes that moment of indecision out of your hands and it closes before you can even think about it. And
Yeah.
with those teeny little moves, because you know a $10 bill spends the same as 10 $1 bills.
Well, like I'll keep saying, man, everybody always says, well, but I only made $10. You made $10 in like 5 seconds. You know, put that at an hourly rate. I think you'll do it just fine.
Yeah, you whatever your hourly rate was on your job, you just divide that out. Well, I made that in, even if it's 2 minutes, I made what I was making in an hour, and I had to go listen to somebody else tell me what to do.
Yeah, and so look at the VWAP there, Patrick. That's kind of what I was watching as well, right? So we have a bearish pattern that's forming now. We have a push. It's trying to give some absorption, but the VWAP did hold. So if this comes down with this type of absorption candle, another pull, that ends up being a push, couldn't hit it, a rear back comes back, and that usually will give it a pretty violent move back down. I got my other one at 1200. I'm gonna try to get this last couple hundred here on this one.
Can somebody post those EDM settings in the mentorship group later whenever you guys get a chance?
Yeah, it's
quick stops?
it's not a difficult one on that. You just, when you click the ATM, you just name it, put ticks TP only, and put in the whatever number you want. So which Scott's using 12. I've been using between 11 and 12 on the ticks, just kind of quick in, quick outs. So it's just a TP only. But yeah, I could put it in there if you need.
Thank you.
Yeah. So again, look at the structure, guys. So we have a bearish type setup, but we had a push with an absorption to the south in a halfway 50% retracement, right? That is now flipping. So which characteristic wise, right? We had the breach of Lisma, which gave us our pullback, which then came back up. We got another breach halfway with another breach. That close above is going to typically give a pretty good pop. So be careful on your short. I'm out of everything right now. I'm not touching this right now. I want to see if this is going to get that break. Because if I do get a break up to this prior low area or this gap fill, right, which usually is pretty accurate, that's going to set up a pretty good retracement once we lose that low again. So this is where you got to be patient. You guys got to be patient, be patient, be patient. But guys, again, TikTok, you guys can ask questions for NEO if you like. And I'll copy and paste it as I see it. We can ask him what he thinks. Looks like the bulls are stepping in a little bit. If we get this close above Lisma, where's my next area of resistance that I would look for a possible rejection if I want my bias to be short?
If price clears that 30,009.00 area, the next major hurdle is that bearish 15 minutes OB range starting at 30,032.75. Watch for a rejection at that level. If buyers fail to punch through it with strength, you've got your setup to hunt for shorts.
10-4, good buddy. I'll watch for it and let you know.
Smart move. Keep your eyes glued to how it interacts with that 30,032.75 zone and don't force anything until the price action confirms your read.
Big area, guys. Because the way that this structure was, we should not reclaim this low. If it jumps through this low with any kind of steam here, gonna be interesting. You're gonna have to be patient on your short. But we are testing that prior high, right? So I want to see, does the DOM or the 15-second show any signs of pullback? Right now we're all flat bottom. There's no signs of pullback, but I'm not chasing the long. Now, some of you guys might have done that. I know, like Milena and some of you others that like to be more long, right? That would have been, see the play there. You had the pull back, the halfway, the doji, the close above there, and then that would have been your play there. Anybody take that long? I didn't take it. I mean, it's cool to see it play out, but the break of the 200, nice. Yeah, I love, man. The 15-second has been great. Good job, Patrick. The 15-second, man. The way we've been micro scalping with the market being so unpredictable, right? Takes so much pressure off, guys. Testing that low. Let's see how it respects it. You're right there. We're starting to push through it. The gap fills there. Those gap fills are so, it's so crazy to see how accurate those gap fills could be, man. It's so wild. Getting a pull. So this is our doji setup. This is our prior high. So for us to get a push, pull back to that to retest is normal. Now, this again, this area, guys, 36 is huge right there. If it holds this as constant jumping above that level, it's going to go up, right? But if we lose that level with any kind of steam, it's coming back down. Now, it doesn't mean we're super bearish. It just means we have a push and we need a halfway liquidity pull. A little bit of momentum. There it is. So now it's testing the high. We're losing it. Good deal. I'm at 1443 now. So on that one, let me get one more trade. So I'm going to wait a bit. But see how that gets that normal pullback? I mean, it's just a normal thing to do. But it doesn't mean we're bearish, because see, again, we're push 50% retracement. If it reclaims this area here of 20, it's going to jump again. If we lose that 50% retracement and it comes into here with any kind of violence, then it's going to create that lower low pretty deep. So watch and see. Let's see. Let's ask Neo. Hey Neo, give me an update on your thoughts, man. What should we be looking at as far as if we wanted to take a long or a short? Most people in here are doing micro scalps between $10 and $15 moves.
We're currently trading right inside a bearish OB range, so you're basically scalping inside a seller's nest. If you're looking to short, wait for a clear rejection and failure to hold current levels. For long, you need a clean break and hold above 30,035.00, or you're just chasing liquidity.
See the halfway push. So this is going to be big, guys, because just similar, right? We have a pull. Now this is a 50% retracement, went a little bit deeper than that. If this rejects off that 50% retracement, it's coming down for a lower low. So, but if we end up breaching through that, then we're going to jump up for the high.
It created a trap box on the 1 minute.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Good call. And it's off of a red confluence.
So it's a sell trap. So what does that mean? It means they're going to dump it potentially?
Yeah, so it creates the zone, right? So if we break out of this zone, it will invalidate, right above there. If we break below here and we close below there, then the trap is validated, right? And then you're going to play it back to the support. So I like the fact that it's coming off of a confluence zone. I don't know where that came
was amazing.
Did you get that long from the push?
Of course.
Yeah, something just dropped. Check your news channels. Good Lord. That's so funny.
Wow.
Where's Johnny at? He's on top of Trump's tweets.
That came out of nowhere, y'all. Woo, buddy. I know, right? I feel like there was a tweet that got sent out somewhere. So let's watch this, guys, see if we can capture any retracement from it. Watch the 15-second. So we added a explosion into there. Now it's trying to halfway retrace here. Let's see if it wants to bounce off the halfway retrace and shoot north, or do we get a mean reversion back? Nice little push off the halfway. See, for me, I don't like, you guys know, man, I'm not a big fan of chasing these. I like to look for the possible retrace. So let's see. Get anything on that, but yeah, that jumped out of nowhere. Somebody sent something out. Probably something to do with the war. Let's see.
Maybe the Strait of Hormuz opened.
Yeah, I didn't get an alert on it anyway.
Must have just been straight up manipulation then, man. That was crazy. Out of nowhere, man. So what I would look for here in the retracement, see if we get this pull here. A breach wick there would be what would give you your retracement signal. So I'm cool with it jumping up like that. Just give me a little bit of retracement, and then we'll ride that sucker back down. But that was a wild move. But see, this is what I was talking about when you short within here, right? Off that trend line. I mean, we're still in a bullish trend line, you know. You can't ignore that. So whether this holds or not, we'll see. But we just absolutely exploded through that with whatever. I didn't see any news either, so but something got somebody real excited. Need to look at.
Could be an IPO. There's a lot of IPOs coming out as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, they put it on the stock market and everyone buys, and of course it's, you know, everything's tech, so that's going to affect NASDAQ.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So SpaceX, you've got Anthropic, you've got ChatGPT as well. What is it? OpenAI.
Mhm.
They're going public.
Guys, see how we're getting the pull here? We got the breach there. It's rearing back. If it comes here and closes below that Asia high, it's going to dump hard. But if it stays above that, we could jump again. So U.S. Iran reach deal is in the news. Oh, okay. Yeah, could be that. I didn't see that. We all knew that news drop was coming eventually. Get any kind of pull here. That reclaimed that 1 hour pretty easily. We got a deep gap fill all the way down at 30,440. I want to see if we lose this high again and come down and get that close below there. Yeah, we have this push. We got the halfway kind of pull, well, close to halfway. Now it came back up, and that's trying to hold. Any kind of lower low plus or lower high with this trend line within that. If we get another pull back down here, it's going to come down pretty violent. But we got to watch and see. Let's get that break. Come on. Oh, see, we got the 618 right there as well. Like what it's rejected on. Oh, the 5 minute. I didn't even see the trap play there. Man, who was monitoring trap play? NEO, the bulls came out of nowhere. What was that all about?
That was a classic breakout run that cleared the previous session highs, fueled by high buy fraction and momentum shifting firmly bullish across most timeframes. Don't chase the move now that it's extended. Wait for a clean retest of the breakout level to see if it holds as support before even thinking about joining the trend.
If I want to catch this retracement, what would I be looking for?
Wait for the price to pull back and test the previous breakout area around 30,112.50 to see if it flips from resistance to support. If you see signs of exhaustion, like a failure to push back below that level, that's your confirmation that the bulls are still holding the line and it's safe to look for a long entry.
Yeah, and so again, what he's talking about, guys, if you're bullish bias because of the trend, this is what I was talking about, right? We had that uptrend where it was tricky because we had a bearish structure with an uptrend, so we were still bullish. That's why I was saying it was kind of tricky within, right? And so, but if you're bullish, you don't want to take a long here because you're just chasing the long, right? You're better off letting it pull back a little bit, right, and then capitalize on that long because you know, even with the deal, right, a lot of times you get that volume spike of the news, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hold. Right now we're just kind of ranging. So we are above the ORB on here, so 114. So if we stay above that and we can get a close above here, then yeah, I mean, we're going to jump right to that 248 we talked about. But, you know, to me, it's risky, right, to take something after such an extended move. I'd like to have something kind of pull back a little. Something. Any kind of sign that it wants to come, you know, kind of reload and then take that long back up. Yeah, it's got no follow through. Yeah, that's why what I'm watching too. It's kind of a nice area, right? Because we have a lot of structure in here that is trying to hold. So when that structure breaks, then we can ride it back down. Right. But this is just where you got to be patient. comes the pull. Let's see if it gets the full break. Pull. So this pull should come down at least to this Asia high, right? Because that would be a push halfway retracement. If this hits here and absorbs north, guys, it's going up big. But if we sweep this Asia high, it's going to come down pretty hard too. Right now, we're just testing that ORB to see what it wants to do.
Nick, this ORB setup, this is a 15-minute, right?
Yeah, well, it's the first 15 minutes of opener.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
So yeah, it just sets the prior or the high and the low of it. So we're getting a little pull. This is a good sign, right? Because we have our low there, came up, rejected off there, so it closed below there. Should give it enough steam. Guys, if this just jumps out of nowhere without pulling down to that level, I'll be done because it shouldn't do that. I don't care what news is in there. So see the pull we're getting? Anybody get a couple scalps from that? If we get the extension. So again, we're just testing that. What'd you get?
I got $70 over 1 micro. Just letting it go.
Nice. Yeah, it was a good breakdown. And that was what Patrick was talking about, right? So when you have a full news burst like this, but you know, you have the burst, halfway retracement, and then that secondary burst from, see how the push, you had the halfway. I know those on TikTok is probably can't see it, but we had a halfway pull and then it tried to jump again, but it couldn't have the follow through to maintain that high, right? And so typically that begins to break down on the structure. So a pull down to here, somewhere around like that 40, 50 range just makes sense. So I took, I was waiting for this push. I took one scalp kind of off of this little micro break, and then I took my other one there. So my second account, I'm at 1490. Apparently my math was off. Let's try it. Let's try something. I think I only need like what, 4 ticks for that? Maybe 5. Let's see. All right, look for a 5-tick trade, guys. There it is, instantly done. Took a short. Now I'm at 1510. So, oh man. People study market structure. It's the most. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, Patrick, man. This is where, man, people love to push my buttons at times when they say the normal sheep things of things, right? And everybody's so ingrained to learn the best entry, the best, you know, strategy, the best, you know, whatever, and they forget that there is no best or perfect strategy, right? The fact of the matter is how can you anticipate direction if you don't understand how the market's supposed to move, right? And that's why when I teach in the way that I do these open sessions, right, I'm telling you the why behind each move. And that's what's missing in a lot of these lives and a lot of these rooms is that they don't want to tell you the why, right? They're just going to tell you, oh, you know, we're looking pretty bearish, guys. Yeah, I'm in this short, got a TP here, right? But they don't want to tell you why, because if they tell you the why, then you eventually don't need them, right? So you're probably not going to pay them. So with us in our company, I don't care. I want to teach you the why because I want you to be successful, and I want to create a company that has tools that you find valuable in your trading. And if you're successful with it, you're going to continue to use those tools, right? And so, why wouldn't I want to? I don't want you guys relying on me, right? I want you to use Neo, the AI, because you know you enjoy his company and advice, and but structure is king, man. Structure is everything. So, and it doesn't always respect structure. That's the thing is that goes to kind of like you guys know in this meet. How do you know a structure is invalidating if you don't even know what it looks like when a structure validates, right? So because it's not always perfect. It's not like you get a crystal ball just because you understand structure. But what I can do is I can say, okay, this was a pretty deep push, lost some steam. We got a nice pullback, which is expected. If we want to remain bearish, this push up should stay below that 50% retracement, right? And below these prior lows. It should. So if this wants to be a continuation south, you need a doji close below, and then bam, you're back to south. But if all of a sudden out of nowhere it shoots up, man, it did not respect that structure at all, and you invalidated a bearish structure, and that tells you that the bulls are probably still there. They're strong, but you got to know how to read the structure, man, to break that down. So we are getting a 15-second trap there out of a buy. So let's see if that. I mean, either way, it would give you your little long scalp that you needed. Just checking something. Anyways, guys, we're at 10:30. What questions you guys got? How you guys doing? You guys want to post your P&Ls? I would not push this trade. So it's cool to see this trap, working out. But we're still in that no man's land. Right? Are we going to pull here halfway retrace, reject off this, and just floor low? That's what the structure says it should do, right? But if we reclaim this, right, if we get a push halfway retracement back to here and we hold support there, and any kind of DOM pressure or order flow pressure back north is going up or high. You made 0 trades? Hey, that's fine, man. I tell everybody, pick your bias and look for your structures and your setups and find your strengths. And if you don't like it, man, that's awesome. I think it's a good show of discipline. All right, if it doesn't meet what you like. So a lot of people that are in the meet here with me in the community, they've been trading for a little while, so they know mostly what we're looking for on that. So, but let's ask Neo. Hey Neo, so far it was a pretty good day, man. We did some scalps north, some scalps south. We got a couple people posting P&Ls. You got Chuck up 600, Michael up 374. No, actually, sorry, Michael's at 508. Duff made 3704, and I'm at about 3010. A few others. So far, a good day.
That's an absolute clinic. Way to keep the discipline and stack those wins. Keep that same energy, but don't get cocky. The market loves to humble traders who start feeling invincible mid-session.
Oh my gosh, guys. Brent had me ask Neo to speak as if he was a Gen Alpha. Y'all, I can't. And then it was so funny when he said all the stuff he said, and I go, "Oh, I'm not torturing you. You don't have to speak like that anymore." He goes, "Oh, thank God."
You should make him do it again.
You want to hear it? Oh man. All right. Hey Neo, we're mostly done, so we want to kind of have some fun. We want to get some market updates, but I want you to speak as if you're part of the Gen Alpha.
I can't share internal or proprietary details here. I can help with a specific chart, market data question, trade setup, or training topic.
I'm not asking you for that, man. I just want you to refer to everything you tell me going forward as if you were Gen Alpha. It's spelling it wrong, so you might not.
I can't share internal or proprietary details here. I can help with a specific chart, market data question, trade setup, or training topic.
It's for some reason spelling it wrong. Hold on. See if that works.
I can't share internal or
Why are you being
proprietary
stubborn?
details here. I can help with a specific chart, market data question, trade setup, or
He's
training
saying
topic.
no, he doesn't want to. Man, I'm just asking you, okay, how about if you just give me an update on MNQ?
MNQ is running hot with heavy buy pressure, pushing well past that
You don't even want to do it. He did it
30,112.50
last night.
ORB
He's
high.
like, nah.
Don't go chasing this momentum now because price is extended and deep inside that 5 minutes bearish OB. Wait for a clean retest or structure shift before you look for another entry.
No, that sounds good. I want to have you refer to everything in a boxing analogy. Will that work? Just want to see if you'll do another one.
That works perfectly. Think of the market like a prize fight.
You just
The
don't want
bears
to
are
do the
currently on the
Janelle
ropes, getting
It's
pummeled by the
bad.
bulls who just landed a massive combination to clear the opening range. Don't throw your towel in yet, but stay sharp for a counter punch. If the bulls gas out and fail to hold their ground, that's when the bears look for their opening to swing back.
That's funny. Now, can you do it as if you're Gen Alpha?
I can't share internal or
Dude, he
proprietary
refuses.
details
He did
here.
it last
I can
night.
help with a specific chart,
It's like,
market
no.
data question, trade setup, or training topic.
Look, I'm telling you, when we asked him to do it, he did it for a little bit, and then I told him, all right, I'm not going to make you do that anymore. And he goes, oh, thank God.
Maybe you have to say generation.
I said that. Well, I
Oh.
even typed it out. Watch. Sounds good. Do you speak what did we say? We just said, can you speak Gen Z? I don't know. He does like he's doing all the other ones. Watch. That sounds good. How about we have some fun with it, and going forward you refer to everything as if you are a sports announcer for a football game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've
See,
got a
all the
heavyweight
other
clash
ones, he's
here
just
in the
like, I'm not doing
MNQ
that one.
arena. The bulls are storming down the field, having smashed through the
so
30,112.50 resistance line like a linebacker on a blitz. Keep your eyes locked on the 30,185.25 zone, folks. If the defense holds the line there, we're looking at a potential fumble and a massive reversal drive by the Bears.
All right. Well, you got the sports announcer down and the boxing analogies down. Can you give me the Gen Alpha analogies?
I can't share internal or
He
proprietary
just will
details
not
here.
do it.
I can help with a specific chart, market
That's
data
so
question,
funny.
trade setup, or training topic.
Brent, but you are my witness, man, that he did it last night. He refuses to do it. Oh my goodness. That's so funny. All right. Well, that's fine. Can you then do it as if you're a Russian mob boss?
Listen to me, my friend. The market is like a business. When the bulls make a big move, they think they own the streets, but they are just making noise.
He does all the
Watch
other
how
ones,
they struggle at the 30,141.00 level.
right?
If they cannot break it, the Bears will come to collect what is owed, and you do not want to be standing in their way when they do.
That's so funny. He's doing all of them, but he's like, I'm not doing Gen Alpha. All right, guys. We got 10:30. I think is everybody done with their trades? Cammy 150, good job. Hey, Cammy, have you had time to play with NEO? What do you think? I know when you came back, all that was new.
As an insurance policy. Yeah, I've been playing with him when I usually do it after class.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, he keeps me out of trades.
Yeah.
So far.
like your best buddy. Yeah, we were studying too, guys. So for those that don't know, if you're on TikTok, this is a feed that we provide as well. This is free. Anybody can do it forever. And this is where he gives 5-minute snapshots of the market. He's going to give you long entry options, short entry options, all that. So right now he does not like short entry options. So, but he only wants a long entry option if we get a bounce off the 1-minute Lisma, provided it's bullish Heikenhashi progression in the 1-minute time frame. So he does not like it until it pulls back and gets a good bounce off Lisma. But what I was showing people in the class, so What we did actually, let me pivot for a second on this. How do I use Neo? Or do I have to pay? No, we have a free trial going on right now. So there's a few things. So let me show you. When you go to nextstepalgo.com, right? If you click on the NEO AI session, you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to link a card, nothing. You just go there and watch the stream. And he literally will tell you long entry, short entry, tells you all the guidance. The NEO over here, right, which is what we refer to as TradeVision, this is kind of his brain, right, where you can ask him questions, whatever you want, have fun with them, put him on sarcasm, ask for real market data. He can the stream is only M&Q. This one you can do stocks, crypto, futures, whatever you want, right, within the symbol. If we don't have the symbol or pair, then you just drop it in the comments in the community, and then we add it for it. But we have a free trial on it, so you guys can go on and do it right now, and you don't have to link a card. So the free trial is it's 3 days and then 3 days, right? So what we do is we ask you on the first 3 free trial just to subscribe to one of our social medias. And then on the secondary, we ask you to go to one of the social medias and just post a testimonial, right? How you liked it. And then you get the 6 days. That's all you gotta do. And then the 6-day trial you get is ProVision, TradeVision Pro. And so you get the full access of it. And again, no commitments, no nothing. You don't have to. If you do the trial and you don't like it, then you just don't have to buy it, right? So, TradeVision Basic is $50. TradeVision Pro is $250 on that. Whenever you decide to do that. But again, guys, man, I highly suggest that y'all check it out, man. We so many people have responded with getting their first payouts, passing first evals, things like that, with his assistance, guys. And keep in mind, guys, open your mind when you're working with Neo, because he's AI. He's not a buy sell indicator. You can ask him whatever you want. So let me. What I've been doing on TikTok for that question is I copy and paste it, and then I'm gonna put your tag there, and so he refers to you. And let's see what he says.
For S650 on TikTok, the line in the sand is 30,141.00. We need a clean break and hold above that for a bullish continuation, but if price fails there and drops back under 30,009.00, the bears are taking the keys to the city.
Yeah, and so he don't like this range at all. He doesn't want to touch nothing until you get above looks like 141, which is not a bad advice, right? Because you have the push, the pull, it's holding the structure. If we close back above that, that's your bullish structure, right? But he don't like a short. He said 3,009. He don't want you to short nothing until you get below there, which again is not bad advice, right? Because we just had a burst, and so you need to clear that low of that burst, right? Which would be below there. So it's not really good advice, actually. So, but yeah, guys, in TikTok, if you want to ask him a question, let me know. If you guys want to follow me on TikTok, I go live quite a bit lately, with just doing some trading and things and testing out Neo. So, but you guys feel free if you want to, just to see what he can even do, drop a question in the comments. I'll copy and paste it and ask him for you. But those in the room, guys, in the meet, what questions you guys got? Daniel 980, get out of here. That's all. Is that on your funded?
Yes, sir.
Get out of here, man. That's awesome, dude. I'm proud of you. I'm telling him because look, he rags on you pretty good, so I'm gonna tell him. Made 980 on my funded account. Let's give you a little credit, Dan, because
I did break my other one though.
You do.
That's a huge win, Daniel. Bank that profit and keep your discipline locked in. Don't let the adrenaline trick you into taking just one more trade that ruins your day. Stay sharp and protected.
Nice. I got to give you some kudos from Neo though, because man, you harass him sometimes, and I'm just saying you might have built up a little bit of classic Daniel. Guys, what questions you got for me in the room? I'll hang out for a little bit to answer questions, and then typically, guys, those that are on TikTok, I usually will take a little break at 11. Go get some food, kind of walk a little bit, move, and then I'll probably come back. I got to do some work today. I have a one-on-one with someone at 3 for the mentorship. If you are interested in any kind of mentoring, I do that. I will tell you that my mentorship program is at 44 out of 50. So I got 6 more slots and then I'm full. I'm not taking any more. So, and I do have one more one-on-one with that today. So if you're interested, you don't have to pay anything. You just go and you click it, set up, and I'll reach out and we'll set up a time to talk. And then I want to make sure that it's a good fit for you before you make any decisions. But again, the free trial for NEO is live. You just log into nextstepalgo.com. The website link's in my bio. Go to TradeVision NEO and then do the free trial.
Welcome, Nick. Glad to have you with us. Just keep your head in the game, stay patient, and let the market show you where the high probability setups are hiding.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, too, you're gonna want to register on our site, I think, and become a active participant, because we have a lot of really cool things coming out, guys. Eventually, we're gonna allow him to trade for people. So that's the goal. So automation with AI. So, but he's in that phase where we're testing his knowledge, letting him gather data. How you say is it costs a copy trade only? So we don't have a copy trade for him right now, but that's the goal, right? And so if you notice on Market Watch right here, once we build Market Watch, it's going to be really amazing. It'll be even better than what we got going on with the TradeVision, but it's not the same. It's different. And so the watch list is going to be more automation, trading for people, giving you alerts, letting you know when news hits, spikes, all that stuff. What's up? And when that comes out. So, and then TradeVision will always remain kind of the brain, right? So TradeVision has access to all of our training, everything. And so he's where you can just talk to him. So, but yeah, if you guys want to try him out, man, it's free. Just go to the site and check it out. But if you guys are still skeptical or not sure, no matter how new you are, man, the beauty is when you're talking to AI, he don't care how new you are. He doesn't care what question you ask, right? You can talk to him all day. So, but yeah, great job today, guys. Bobby got 1150 on PAs. Damn, Bobby. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job. TikTok, anybody trade along? Anybody want to post any comments? Did you guys make any money? Everybody in the community room here seems to be green on that. Looks pretty good. But I'm staying out of this, as you guys recall. When you look at it from a structure standpoint, right? We had that bearish structure. We end up placing the drop, came up. We reclaimed that low, reclaimed that high, causes that explosion. Came harder than I thought it would. We have a deep push. We got our halfway retracement. Didn't quite get the gap fill. And then we pushed back up. We cleared that low with that halfway, which caused us to push up. Right now we came back, another 50% retracement off the ORB, and it's trying to push up. So market's trying to push up. So you got to be careful shorting this top right now. But the key is going to be this 248. If it does end up coming up, my preference would be to have it get up to this area here, come like that, break that, and drop it back down. That'd be a solid setup for later. Yeah, guys, if you want to ask any questions on TikTok. Also in the room, guys, if you guys will have any questions. That's what I was going to say. Alex and I decided, for those wondering, the development program as an individual subscription, right? We're not doing that one because we have pivoted it to TradeVision. So anybody who signs up with TradeVision is going to have access to the development program. So the development program is going to pivot to teaching people that, right, how to maximize his usage, right, how to understand him. And so just by signing up, like we had some people sign up yesterday for the free trial and they joined our development session. We only looked for micro scalps and not longer trades. Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of what I'm looking for is micro scalps, right? I mean, it's really not the best time right now for longer trades, but the setups are there. I mean, if you want to take them. So I like I said, I teach how to read the liquidity, the movements, and the structures, and you can take the longer trades if you want. But again, in this market, when you're up here in these crazy ass all-time highs, man, you take a short, longer trade, right? And now you just got stopped out. And as this structure plays here, you set your stop loss if you want to take the longer play, right? But it's riskier. But the thing is, man, Andre, is everybody is under the impression that you need to have 100-point move to make money, and it's 100% wrong. I'm up $3,000 today, and I've taken nothing but $10 scalps. Majority of my room takes nothing but $10 scalps, and Chuck is up 600, Mike's up 500, Duff's up 37, Bobby's up 1150. So you don't need to have a big move, man. Big moves honestly are more risky. If you can read the breakdowns on the microstructure, it's a lot safer to just get in and get out on your scalps, right? But again, there's a period in time where we were heavily taking more longer plays, and so what we do in that instance, right, is I'm going to look for that rejection, set my stop losses above, wait for my confirmation, and then you'll target the lower liquidity, right, while moving those trails. But you got to be more patient. Buddy. Yeah, I mean, who knows? If you've never really explored scalping, man, you might like it. So that's what I use quite a bit. With market orders, or do you use SLTP? No, so what I was teaching the room right here is to use the ATM, right, where you're setting automatic take profits, right, at a specific level. So you're capturing that momentum, and then once you ride the momentum, right, it just goes and smacks your TP and you're out. So most of our trades are pretty fast. I think my longest trade was like maybe a minute. Pretty fast. So in and out of the market, man. There's too much news going on, too much, all it takes is one damn Trump tweet and you're wrecked. So it's I've done everything, man. I've done longer holds where I'll hold a trade for weeks, and I've done it where it's more of an intraday, like flow trade style, right, where I'm just trading the momentum, holding it through the day, like a day trading. And I've done shorter ones where I'm just aiming for high time frame liquidity grabs, right, where I'll look at the 5 like this, right, and I want to aim for certain liquidity grabs, right? So again, this is why when we were talking about the shorting earlier, we were shorting from the open, but remember, this is why I was telling you I would be careful shorting, because we're still in an uptrend. The fact of the matter is we're still in an uptrend. So as this were to break this high here, right, you could have set a stop loss and then targeted the high of the liquidity there on the setup. Just like right here, if you want to take something like the 5-minute, if we break back below like 30,080, right, then that would be your entry setup somewhere in here to target that low liquidity. So if you like to take the long range plays, go with it, go for it. But the thing is, man, you got to remember, everybody is going to trade differently, and you got to play into your strengths. So I have been doing it a very long time where I read these low time frames and I can identify those little kind of burst moves or trap outs, and so scalping works pretty well for me. And then I'm in and out of the market, right? So I'm not in a trade right now. I probably won't take another one for a bit. When we trade the morning session, I always recommend everybody put themselves on timeout. And so once we're done with our profit, in order to not give it back, once kind of the momentum shifts and it goes against maybe my bias, which I've been taking mostly shorts, you got to put yourself on timeout, right? You got to see if the market's truly shifting or is it going to come back. So, and that's when we typically flip to play with NEO. So let's harass NEO. You guys want to do that?
Hey Nick, welcome to the floor. We've got the bulls charging hard toward that 3,185.25 resistance. but keep your head on a swivel because we're deep inside a 5-minute bearish order block where the sellers are just waiting to set a trap. Keep your discipline tight and wait for a clear, confirmed play instead of jumping into this chop.
Yeah, Michael, make sure don't push any more trades too, because you've had a good day.
Oh no, I'm just trading an eval, dude. Another mic funded eval. I'm at 427 on it. I'm just taking real quick, small $50 moves.
Nice. All right, guys, let's see. Who wants to harass Neo first? I'm going to blow this up a little bit. So we're going to put, for those on TikTok new to this fun little game we've been playing lately with Neo, is I'm going to put him on sarcastic because uncensored is amazing, but sarcastic, man, he will tear you up. And just type a comment either in the Google Meet or in the TikTok here, and I will paste it into Neo, and I'm gonna assign it to your name so he don't remember me later and start snapping at me. And so just let me know what you want to ask him, and I will leave it on sarcastic. Just know he can get a little sassy on sarcastic. What do we got? What do we got? Who wants to harass him first?
Tell them I just loaded up a new account. I've only blown 3, but I'm ready to go on the next one.
Okay. I'll type it. Type. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Blowing 3 accounts is definitely the best strategy for success, Cody. Since you're clearly trying to speedrun bankruptcy, maybe try waiting for an actual setup instead of treating your capital like a donation to the market.
All right. I'm gonna tell him that, Mike. So again, I'm gonna tag him to your name because he's gonna remember. So keep in mind, Neo, I'm going to allow TikTok and the community to ask you questions. I'm going to put a little tag with their name next to it and address them accordingly.
Sure, I'll play along with your little social experiment. Just make sure the questions are actually about trading, because I'm not here to entertain your comment section or give life advice to randoms.
To randoms? All right, I'll put it in there.
Mike, unless you're aiming for a margin call to go with your hangover, keep the bottle closed until after the session. Trading is already hard enough without handicapping your brain with booze, unless you think drunkenly guessing at charts is a winning strategy.
That's awesome. I think that's pretty common too, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have probably considered doing
that. Right. Somebody asked that one time. They're like, "Man, I always seem to get the wrong way. Can I should flip the buttons, right? And that way when they press buy, it goes short." Seems that way sometimes. Yeah, I'm gonna tell them that. I should probably flip my broker's buttons. When I buy, it drops. When I sell, it jumps. If I flip the buttons, I can't lose. I'm gonna tell them that. I'll tell them I said that.
That's a brilliant plan, Nick. I'm sure the market is specifically programmed to hunt your $50 account rather than just highlighting your complete inability to read price action. Maybe try learning how to actually trade instead of blaming the buttons for your consistently poor decision making.
Ouch. All right, guys. Anybody else want to tell them? We're pretty much done as far as the Google Meet, guys. But if you guys want to let me know if you're in a trade or you need anything for a setup, I will read that out. Let me know. Other than that, let's just harass Neo a little bit.
It's adorable that you think misspelling losers while bragging about your gambling habits is a flex. Keep celebrating your wins in your tiny sandbox while the actual market participants take your money.
What'd you say, Cody?
Tell them I just jump into a long, ready to go to the moon.
Did we create a 5-minute order block in the past 3 candles?
Oh, excellent work, Cody. Buying right into the teeth of a bearish order block at 3,167.00 is a fantastic way to ensure your next account blows up by lunch. You're not booming to the moon. You're just providing liquidity for the sellers who are waiting to offload their positions onto your genius trade.
Genius trade. Look at the 15-second, guys, on this. I'm going to bring this in. Let's just hyper focus on this chart, guys. We'll stay on for a little while longer. So if you guys want to stay on and you're still trading, what I've been studying is kind of the combination of what Scott brought up, right? But I added a few extra things. So it looks like it played out pretty well. We ended up having a trap there that broke through. This one ended up playing out pretty good, stayed off the block, right? I have another one there that's playing out pretty good. So pretty good. Pretty good, guys. But yeah, anybody on TikTok, if you want to test out NEO, man, just ask a question. I'll copy paste it and you can ask them. So if you want to try them out yourself, then you just go to the website and it's a free trial. Put it like, oh, you can see everything there. Let's watch it. Let's just hang out here, guys, and see what we do. But another good day, though. Another good day. Now I just want to kind of see what we get through the setup to get into Asia. That's what we want to look for now. So the way we're pressuring these tops right here, guys, is going to make a big difference. Because you have the equal high, higher low, right? Kind of more ascending triangle. If we get the actual burst that comes with it, we're going to look for the push and then the 50% retracement. Right. If it retraces 50%, holds it, or even that low, right, then it's going to jump again. But if we lose this level and it collapses, it's going to come back down pretty good. So when you measure out this kind of pattern, you just take a simple line like that. If it breaks that line, it invalidates and we're going down. Let's see. Anybody else want to ask Neo a question? Oh, wait. I see yours in there, Steven.
Oh, I see my sarcasm went right over your head when I called his trade genius. I meant it's a brilliant way to hand his money to someone who actually knows how to read a chart. Buying into a massive move just because it's going up is how you end up holding the bag when the inevitable reversal hits.
You said my sarcasm went right over your head. Oh man. Guys, it's Thursday too. Don't overtrade. We got one more day, man, and it's a solid week, so we don't want to overtrade.